Have you ever thought you might be missing something super important in your lead generation? Chances are you are. Most people overlook a big and crucial marketing concept. This concept is so powerful that just knowing about it can make your sales campaigns way more successful. But don't worry, by the end of this video you'll know all about it. I believe it's better to introduce it slowly, instead of telling you right away. That way, you'll remember it forever. So, let's dive into the secret which lies in this little story. It's based on Eugene Schwartz's powerful marketing concept. This concept tells us how to know what to say to our leads to interest and engage them. This way, you speak to your leads about things that matter to them and keep them engaged, rather than talking at them about things they don't care about. Once upon a time, on a cluster of beautiful islands, there lived people at different stages of understanding about their need for shoes. The islands were lush, with sandy beaches, rocky hills, and vibrant jungles. A clever trader named Lucas knew just how to talk to each group to help them see why they needed shoes. Let's follow Lucas as he visits each island and tailors his offers perfectly, using the smart ideas of Eugene Schwartz. Sandor was a beautiful island with beaches stretching all around a full mile wide. The sun was blazing hot, turning the sand into something that felt like it could roast an egg. The sea was super important to the islanders. They got their food from it, held ceremonies on its sparkling shores, and celebrated with picnics and parties on the sand. But here's the twist. Every person on Sandora carried 2 large animal skins on their backs. These skins were not for decoration. They were a clever way to walk across the hot, burning sand without hurting their feet. They would lay one skin down to step on, then place the second skin in front of it, hop over, and keep going until they crossed the beach. It was a bit of a dance, but everyone had been doing it since they were kids, so it felt perfectly normal. When Lucas the trader arrived on Sandora, he saw families having fun on the beach, but struggling with their heavy animal skins. He knew he had to start by helping them understand there was a better way. Hey there, Sandora friends, have you ever noticed how those heavy skins make you sweat and are really bulky? Plus, they can get so hot and uncomfortable. What if you didn't have to carry anything at all? Imagine being lightweight and never having to worry about burning your feet on the hot sand again. I've got something called shoes that can do just that. They're easy to wear and will keep your feet cool and comfy. Want to see how they work? Lucas's message was designed to help the islanders realize they had a problem they didn't even know about. This is why we call this group of people in marketing problem unaware. By talking about how their current method was heavy and uncomfortable, Lucas showed them that they had a problem they were unaware they had, and that his shoes were a solution that could make their lives easier and more enjoyable. If Lucas had used a different approach, he would not have connected with the islanders. For example, get my shoes. This wouldn't help the islanders see why they needed them. They'd think, why should we get shoes? Look at the wonderful colors of my shoes you can choose from. This wouldn't matter to them. They wouldn't care. Buy 2 pairs, get 1 free. This wouldn't interest them. By meeting the islanders where they were in terms of understanding shoes, Lucas first showed them that they had a problem they weren't even aware about. Then he offered a solution with his shoes, helping them see why his offer was so valuable. Thanks to their new shoes, the people of Sandora could finally enjoy their beautiful beaches without the hassle of carrying those heavy animal skins. This story shows that just shouting buy my stuff doesn't work. Each person, buyer's profile, also called avatar, goes through a journey of awareness, understanding about a product or service. Lucas's message was perfect for islanders who weren't aware they had a problem. The problem unaware stage is when people don't know they have a problem, so they aren't looking for your product. This makes it harder to sell to them because they aren't looking for a solution. They aren't typing the name of your product or service into search engines. Here are some examples of products people didn't know they needed. Post-it notes. People didn't know they needed sticky notes to help them remember things until Post-it notes were invented. Microwave oven. Before microwaves, people didn't realize they needed a faster way to cook food. GPS navigation systems. People used maps or asked for directions before GPS systems showed them a better way to find places. Next, let's see how Lucas the trader will tailor his message for islanders who are at different stages of awareness. On the second island, Thornia, Lucas saw people limping around and carefully avoiding jagged rocks on the paths. The islanders knew they had a problem. They were cutting their bare feet on the sharp rocks, but they didn't know what to do about it. In marketing, we call such a group problem aware. We don't try to convince them that they have a problem. This would make them uninterested in what we have to say because they already know that. What they want is a solution to their problem. Lucas stepped forward and addressed the crowd. "Greetings, fellow adventurers. I hear that you're tired of cutting your feet on the sharp rocks along your paths. What if I told you there's a solution that can protect your feet and make walking on those paths much easier? It's called shoes. Let me show you how they work." Lucas's message connected with the Thornians because he understood they already knew they had a problem. He didn't need to convince them of that. They were already searching for a solution but didn't know if one existed. If Lucas had used a different approach, he might not have connected with them effectively. For example, if Lucas had said, "Look at the wonderful colors of my shoes you can choose from," or "Buy 2 pairs, get 1 free," this wouldn't matter to them. By meeting the Thornians at their level of awareness, knowing they had a problem but were looking for a solution, Lucas showed them how his shoes could be the answer they were searching for. On the third island, Brambleton, Lucas noticed that people were limping around just like on the second island, Thornia. They were carefully avoiding sharp rocks and jagged stones scattered along their paths. At a village meeting, the islanders were buzzing with ideas.
Some suggested digging out all the sharp rocks from the paths,
while others thought breaking them into smaller pieces might help.
A few people believed covering the paths with sand would be the answer.
The islanders knew they had a problem. They understood that a solution was needed, and now they were trying to figure out the best way to fix it. Lucas knew he needed to join them at their level of awareness.
Unlike the people from Sandora who didn't even know they had a problem, and the Thornians who were aware of their problem but didn't know there was a solution, the Brambletonians were already actively comparing different solutions. Greetings, fellow adventurers. I hear you're looking for a way to stop cutting your feet on the sharp rocks along your paths. What if I told you there's a solution that can protect your feet and make walking on those paths much easier? You won't have to spend time smashing all the rocks into small pieces, digging them out, or covering your paths with sand. And think about it. What happens when roots push new sharp rocks to the surface, or the sand gets blown away by the wind? You'd end up starting all over again. I have a better, easier, and quicker solution. It's called shoes. Let me show you how they work.
He asked the village chief to try on a pair of shoes and walk on the sharp rock path. Everyone watched eagerly. The chief's feet were protected, and he even started jumping up and down on the rocks. Then they made the children try the shoes. They ran along the path, and everyone burst into laughter and applause. They were amazed and impressed, and many of them decided to buy several pairs of shoes. Lucas's message connected with the Brambletonians because he understood they already knew they had a problem and were actively searching for a solution. They were what we call solution aware. Lucas's job was to show them that his solution was better than the others they were considering. Imagine there are different ways to solve a problem, and your product is one of those ways. First, tell people why other solutions aren't as good. Point out the problems they have that your product doesn't. Then show off the cool extras your product has and what makes it special. What are the other solutions people might be thinking about? You can find a list of these in the avatar description you made with my AI. As a Platinum member, just enter the solution's name into my AI and it will create a script showing its disadvantages. When making your videos, use the name of those solutions as keywords. This way, when people search for that solution on YouTube, they'll find your videos. Make sure you pick keywords that lots of people search for. Use vidIQ to check. If a keyword isn't popular, find a similar one that is. This way, people looking for solutions will easily find your product and see why it's the best choice. On the fourth island, Shoeville, the people were quite familiar with shoes. They had all sorts of shoes. But despite having shoes, they still faced some problems. Potential customers are aware of Lucas' shoes but might not be fully convinced of its benefits or how they fit their needs. When it rained, their shoes made their feet wet. When it was hot, their shoes made them sweat. And in winter, they would slip and get cold feet. The islanders knew that shoes were the solution, but they didn't know about Lucas's special shoes.
Hi there, Shoeville dwellers. I see you already know about shoes, but I also see you're having some trouble with them. When it rains, your feet get wet. When it's hot, your feet sweat. And in the winter, you slip and get cold feet.
Lucas stepped into the lively market of Shoeville and greeted the crowd.
I have something different. My shoes are specially designed to keep your feet dry in the rain, cool in the heat, and warm and steady in the cold. These shoes are made to handle all kinds of weather. They are waterproof, breathable, and have special grips to prevent slipping. Let me show you how they work.
He demonstrated the shoes by splashing water, running on hot sand, and walking on ice.
Wow, look at that.
Amazing! They really do work in all conditions.
The islanders watched in amazement as Lucas's shoes performed perfectly in all conditions. They quickly saw how his shoes were better than the ones they had been using. Lucas showed the people of Shoeville that his shoes were the best choice for all kinds of weather. They were already aware of shoes, but now they saw that Lucas's shoes were better than the ones they were used to. Now let's go deeper into how to talk to customers who already know about the products on the market. So you've got some customers who are looking for products and might pick your competitor. What should you do? First, explain why your competitor's product isn't as good as yours. Point out the problems with their product that your product doesn't have. Don't lie. Then share the cool extras that your product offers. Make sure to include your unique selling proposition, USP, the special thing only your product or service has. For example, if you're selling super comfy sneakers and your competitor's sneakers aren't as comfy, you can say that. Then mention that your sneakers have awesome arch support and have a zipper. Repeat this for each big competitor's product or service. When making your videos, use your competitor's name as a keyword. This way, when people search for your competitor, they'll find your videos. How to talk to customers who know about different products. Here's another way to talk to customers who need a product. Instead of comparing to a competitor, compare to a different approach. Let's say there are different ways to solve a problem, and your product or service is one of those ways. First, explain why other approaches aren't as good. Point out their flaws that your product or service doesn't have. Then, show off the extra benefits your product or service offers, including what makes it unique. For example, imagine you have a new kind of shoe fabric that's naturally treated. You want to show why this fabric is better than other options. Other fabrics might be uncomfortable or made with harsh chemicals. Highlight how your fabric is super soft, breathable. I know this can seem tricky, but don't worry. If you're a platinum member, it's super easy. Just enter your competitor's URL, document, promotion, or the type of approach into my AI. It'll create a video script for you. Remember to be concise and aim for the bullseye. Don't go on a tangent describing in detail the problem the lead has. This approach is not for product-aware leads. If you're not clear on your USP, check the USP module of this training, then come back and smoothly insert your USP into your product-aware scripts. When making your videos, use the type of approach as keywords. This way, when people search for another product, they'll find your videos. Make sure the way you describe the type of approach is a keyword with many monthly searches. Use vidIQ for that. When the keyword isn't searched a lot, find synonyms that are. This way, people looking for products will find your product or service easily and see why it's the best choice.